Sounds like Tokyo Drift.
Hey, shut up. Welcome. We're keeping this bit in. No, I've already ruined it. All right, 3, 2, 1, and what do you do?
Come with me to Bali. This Asian island paradise is host to a multitude of beautiful animals like the Bali starling, the Sumatran tiger, and a woman's flying head with sharp fangs, a long tongue, and its intestines dragging behind it. I wouldn't call that beautiful, but to each his own. I digress. This gorgeous, delicious, fucking sexy, disemboweled head, Jago, eats fresh corpses, boobily. How can a head have boobs?
All right, who wrote this? Jago! What does it even mean?
I was watching some porn. David, continue.
Well, I refuse to come back on the show until the copy is written better.
No.
Well, today on Sexy Beast, we're talking about the Indonesian Leyak.
Yeah.
And the beats 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 and it goes like this. Where's the team? Oh, God, where is it?
Girl, you got that sexy beast. You're just so sexy. Are you a Loch Ness monster? Or are you Bigfoot, cryptid, supernatural vampires, banshees, Tony and Jago? Oops, there's a Wendigo. Hey, coming after me. Who just said, fuck said you could laugh at me, smack with me? With a Bigfoot dick you could slap with me? Blasphemy. You could dare come at me with a Bigfoot dick and a Loch Ness monster, pussy. Baby, sexy beast.
Welcome.
Now, I'm going to fucking put you in your fucking spot. I am the intro man.
Welcome. Go ahead, Tony.
That's going to be so peaky now. That's so peaky, it's blinder. Welcome to Sexy Beasts, your foray into the menagerie of the unexplained. Each podcast is devoted to a specific creature, cryptid, or monster, and we discuss its history, its merits, and using our patented FECS analysis, we rate and review the beast against other creatures in the Premier Crypt. And be sure to listen all the way to the end, because we're going to be having a bit of Freak Encounters, part 2 of our Freak Encounter this week, where we read your submitted stories about a time you came in contact with something really weird. It could be the devil in Dunn Stores, it could be a ghost, it could be a weird goat man, you never know. We're also going to be playing a bit of top trumps for the fucking second week in a row. Team Jago has been trumping. What was my most recent team name again?
Plune is overrated.
Plune's overrated.
Team Plune is overrated.
Can Team Plune is overrated finally underdog, because we are not a good team, beat Team Jago? Find out at the end. Allow us to introduce ourselves. My name is Tony Cantwell, and there is nothing I love more than Rover Johnny's ethically sourced condoms for dogs. Listen, dogs are going to hump. They can't fight it, but they can be responsible. And Rover Johnny's are giving away 15% off your first pack with the promo code JagoDogCondom. And my co-host, as always, the number one Rover Johnny's customer, Mark Jago. Ow! That's Rover Johnny's. Now, I just want to point out something here. Rover Johnny's is not a real company, but I wanted to highlight that we will sell anything. We will sell anything. We are looking for sponsors, and we will sell anything, including ethically sourced dog condoms. But welcome to Sexy Beasts. This week,
shills.
We are corporate. Well, we want to be corporate shills. I have genuinely called up people and said, look, just send us free Littlefoot stuff, and we will go full Zendaya is Michi on a bitch and talk about your stupid fucking film.
If one of the listeners just wants to send us a tenner to say something mad on air.
We're not setting up we're not going to, I mean, if we set up a fucking Patreon, that means we're going to have to do a lot more work than we currently do. And do you know, it probably wouldn't be worth your money. But if you want to just send us money and you want to send us a bit of cash, we will literally say anything at the top of the show. Jago, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I like this beast. We were looking over it and I was sort of like, oh man, this is very similar to the Manangalal.
It's pretty similar to the Mananganal, a big floating former, potentially, sex worker woman who's, or shamed woman floating around with her entrails dragging around.
But then I started finding a lot of blog spots about people who claimed they were actually the Leyak, or what do you call it, leek or Leyak?
Well, I read
Leyak my balls.
I read it reads Leyak, but apparently they don't have Ys in Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
That means that if you say anything to anyone, they have to believe you because no one's allowed to say why.
Oh, that's good. Tony Cantwell's new stand-up show is on in the Sugar Club in March 24th.
March 20th and April 10th. And you can, and don't worry, I save all my good jokes for that.
Oh.
I don't waste them.
In Jago's
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest, Jago. I have had 4 coffees today. And I'm
Are you buzzing?
No, I'm actually feeling a bit emotional.
Yeah, your eyes are so glassy.
I know, like I'm genuinely a bit emotional. I'm on the cusp of like crying. I'm on the cusp of crying. And
all right, so that's my mission today is to try and push you over that cusp, that crisp. Push you into that bag of crisps.
That was my crunch. What do you think of that? That was
crunch.
Anyway, look, we are here. We are in. We're in Bali. Bali.
That's how it's pronounced in the Indonesian language.
That's how Rastafarians pronounce it. Bali. But this is the Leyak. And do you know what? I feel this is one of the a bit more. What's the word you use for something that isn't necessarily real and could be a bit spiritual?
Esoterical.
Yeah, kind of ethereal.
Ethereal.
But this feels like a good effervescent, a good Sprite or Coca-Cola like soda water of a cryptid, like a classic sexy beasts. We've had some big hitters ever since we've been bringing out things like the Wolfman,
the Banshee.
The Banshee is a bit big heavy hitter. We're going a bit more traditional. We're back out in Asia, and you know what? I reckon if you were at an Indonesian party and you're trying to crack onto an Indonesian bird, they probably would have heard of the Leyak, but most people wouldn't. So, Mark Jago, would you please? And I will play some sexy Indonesian. Wait, where's my little Indonesian music? Here we go. Here's some Indonesian pop, and tell us about the Leyak.
So I'd walk up and I'd be dabbing, obviously.
Of course.
Dab. I'm like, hey, have you heard about the Leyak?
Were you Nazi saluting?
No, it's called a dab. Have you never played Fortnite before?
No.
Oh, it's a video game. Anyway, the Leyak literally translates as bad witch. Lee bad yak or ak witch. It's during the day it's a normal man or woman, but at night time its head detaches, it drags its entrails behind it, it grows a long tongue, long fangs, and it gains the ability to shapeshift.
Why are you telling me this?
So, because what it does is it goes around and it sucks baby's blood, it bites pregnant women and it eats corpses.
Oh.
And I'm just wondering, can I get you pregnant? So the Hello?
Continue?
No, I'm going home now.
Who was that man? Shit, that thing sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's a bit out there. There's a lot of different levels to this one as well. So, yeah, obviously this is Indonesian folklore. It comes into a lot of their... They actually revere it. There's a hierarchy to it. So there's a queen of the Leyak and her name is Rananga. And during like festivals and rituals on Bali, it'll be led by a person dressed like...
Sorry, what was the name of that place
Rananga
again?
Or Bali.
Bali.
This is the running theme song.
Yeah, if you say Bali.
Baliaka. But yeah, so they'll wear the mask and it has long, elongated tusks, a big long tongue for sucking out babies from pregnant women.
I saw a very crudely animated Flash cartoon on YouTube, and it was genuinely terrifying. It was on a par with the salad fingers thing, but it was it was one of these fucking Leyaks flying around as a fireball, and then floating in, and you see like, and I had this kind of like what's it, stock sound of like a baby being like,
it's like creepy laughing.
Yeah, like a baby laughing, and then you just see it like slowly digesting it. It was quite creepy.
We have so there's different levels of Leyaks, and they have different abilities to shapeshift. I'm gonna go more into that in fighting abilities, just because the amount of shit that this guy can do. So yeah, so they usually eat corpses. And sorry, I sort of messed that up. They drain baby's blood and they drain the pregnant women's blood to use in magical ceremonies and to curse other people. Yeah, so they also, besides when they're in human form, they can also cast magic and fireballs and shit like that.
But shouldn't we all, I think I've mentioned this before, shouldn't we all be eating corpses?
Continue.
Like
Soylent Green.
Like Soylent Green. Well, it's a waste of meat burying a good corpse or burning one.
Yeah, but like imagine that. It's like, oh no, my nanny Bernadette died.
Bernadette died.
My Bernadette died. It's like, give me her thigh.
Yeah, well,
Right, we already fight over the wills of our dead one. Imagine us fighting over a piece of meat.
Well, whatever. You chop it up in a boiler masher, stick her in a stew.
Bernadette.
I
I should have used a different name. That is my nan's name. Oh shit, yeah. God rest her soul.
Well,
She's still alive.
Well, I want to go down that route.
Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying. I just think we should eat corpses. Look, we know what this thing is. We know that I'm visibly upset. But can this thing fight?
Fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think unreal. Right, so I'm going to break it down for
Give
you.
it to me.
Has ability to shapeshift. Now, there's 5 different levels of different types of Leyak, okay? So obviously at the top there is Rananga, okay? At the bottom, the shapeshifting abilities is they can change the shape of their face. So the rest of their body stays the same, but their face changes. So it's a bit like trying to like camouflage. The second one is they can turn into animals. So there's pigs, dogs, snakes, accoutrement. The third level is inanimate objects. So these are the examples given on the websites. Hot rods. Like a hot rod car.
What?
Yeah, hot rods, like chariots.
I meant like a warm stick.
Oh, I think a snake is more dangerous than a warm stick, to be totally fair.
Well,
It can change into inanimate objects, and then on the 4th level, it turns into, this is its ultimate form, like you've caught a shiny Pokemon, a Leyak. It turns into this thing called a Bade, which was an ancient Indonesian cart that they used to carry loads of bodies in at the same time.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's about like like 1 story tall. They used to carry corpses in, and then it'll set itself on fire and explode as some sort of like suicide bomb.
What a fucking mad thing!
Like, yeah, okay, I get a witch and a vampire and stuff like that, but who's like, oh, he also turns into a fucking snake?
That's someone just been like, you're maybe like some senior shaman or whatever, being like, who's, like when you have like one of those old priests. And everyone's like in school, and you kind of have to listen to what they say, even though they're completely out of their generation.
Yeah.
And then once they leave, like the teachers are like, "Look, you don't really have to believe everything Father Dalton just said."
Smartphones are like Jesus in a way.
They're kind of like Jesus in a way.
They love you.
They love you, but you have to love them back.
And you have to take a picture of your genitals for me.
And you haven't done that to me now.
Don't be sending that. Thank you, Father.
Okay, so for the first time on air, all right, I'm gonna do a ritual.
What are you talking about?
I found online to turn into a monkey. If I have Leyak blood in me, I will turn into a monkey.
Is this our second edition of How Do I Become This Cryptid? I can answer that. I can answer that.
Okay, you ready? So this is a chant.
Okay.
I've lit the candles.
That's almost as good as my crisp sound.
Okay, you ready? So this is the chant, right? Harev hrang hrang un hek cool. Harang uf hek cool.
Oh my God! Jago!
Oh, Jesus, Mom, I'm back.
That was weird.
That was so weird. I'm sorry about the shit in your mouth, Tony.
Don't do that. How was it you were less hairy?
I was wearing a suit as well for some reason.
Bananas for business.
Bananas. Yeah, so this thing can fight not only in its human form with all the witches, the ability to change and stuff like that, but in its headless form, okay? It is invulnerable unless
that's bollocks.
Challenged by is a guy called a Balian, which is a traditional healer from Bali. So what he'd do is he'd summon a spirit to fight back. Exactly. So he'd summon a spirit to fight it back. A bit again like Pokemon.
Oh wow! So from what I understand, there is one male and two female of these Leyaks.
No, the Leyak. So I read that and I was sort of like, so there's only 3 of them. But then I realized that they're the famous ones.
They're the famous ones.
So there's there's numerous around the world.
But they are all followers of the evil witch Renanga.
Yeah, she's the queen of the Leyaks.
So a shaman can summon a good Pokemon, like say a Raichu, to fight a Leyak.
What was your favorite Pokemon in the
Cubone.
But like he's wearing his own mother's head as a helmet.
I think we've had this conversation on this show before as well.
Yeah.
I like him. I did like I liked Charizard's attitude, but it was getting a bit annoying when he wouldn't do anything in the cartoon. Like he would not obey any order. Pokemon was probably one of the least satisfying experiences in childhood TV. Because,
TV? Oh, Jesus, I was saying the video game.
Because he was always giving away his Pokemon. He would get it up to 11, he'd just give it away.
And
he was trying to catch them all.
He'd do the wrong move at the wrong time. He'd be like, it's the rock Pokemon, you don't use Pikachu. I know he knows Swift now, but still not good enough. Ash,
who's your
with
favorite?
your developmental disorder.
Yeah, when did he ever grow?
Oh, he didn't. He's like 60 now at this stage.
Well, I don't know. Well, that sounds like Poindexter again from last week's episode. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Arcanine.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, Fire Dog. Yeah, or Magma, the big fire duck.
I would have to say something here now. With the fighting ability of this thing, you know me, Mark Jago, I do like to list my the attributes.
Yeah.
So you got flight, cannibalism.
Which isn't really that much of a power because it just kills another one.
Yeah, but it means that it's a dirty motherfucker. It's a dirty player in the game. He would use claws, maybe a broken bottle. Changeling can masquerade as human. Could pretend to be your wife, your girlfriend, your mother. Can turn into animals.
All 3 are the same, but go on.
Large fangs, large tongue. Can turn into a fucking fireball, a car, and an exploding cart. And is a dirty motherfucker killing kids. Again, the dirtiest player in the game. However,
there is one big thing. I don't know if we're going to say the same thing.
Can't use its powers outside
of Bali.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
So
you ain't going nowhere. I tell you one thing. I know for a fact that the Theatre Screams is not in. It's not in Bali.
So where is it? I'm picturing like a proper Roman Colosseum.
It's it's north of Glasgow in the Highlands.
The Highlands, yes, good. That's canon now. Everyone put that in your fan fiction of me and Tony.
It's Hogwarts, baby.
That's a good opening line.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of Bali, it's a human. And also another way to kill it is if it separates from its body, you just stab it in the neck where the body is and not the head.
For fuck's sake. This thing, I mean, for one, the floating head leaves the body, I imagine, goes around dragging its entrails around. Imagine getting all that back in. Imagine getting all your bits back in. It comes back down on the head and you're just walking around with a fucking scarf full of intestines because you couldn't stuff it back in. That sounds silly.
It's like trying to get a load of baked beans into a rubber glove.
Which has happened quite a lot.
Yeah, recently.
We've done that quite a lot recently. I like how it fights, but I don't think it can fight very well. Yeah,
so I sort of had a really high score for it. Then I came to sort of the conclusion that outside of Bali, it's just a human person. And as of course, I would beat shit out of it.
Start smacking its little liver hanging from its thing.
So does that mean if I literally grab it by the hair and walk it outside the border of Bali, it's just a human head?
I was trying because I read that there are other ones which we'll probably do another episode on, but this kind of example of thing like a floating head or a floating torso with entrails, normally stemming from some sort of story about a fucking dishonest woman who cheated on her husband or whatever it is. But there was a footage of another one, I think from the Philippines, and no, not the Philippines. There was another one from a Cambodian version of this, and there was like a video on YouTube because I read that there was loads of sightings of this Cambodian one, and there's a video on YouTube of all these guys being like, "We got it, and it's like on the stairs, and they're just clearly holding like a football with a towel over it, very slowly in the air, like guiding it through, like he's moving, and it was just just take the fucking towel off and show us.
Shows the football that they had there.
Shows the Wilson.
So what did you give it?
Fighting a 6.
Fighting a 6? Same as me.
Well, there you have it.
I had such high hopes for it, and then I was like outside of Bali. It's like, oh, you bastard!
I will say it looks good, but look, we can touch that point. We can touch the tip of that thing when we get to cool. But in the meantime, does it even exist?
But what is the evidence, sir? I'm just writing something down.
Now, with this one, it's sort of similar to the fighting. I had so in reverse of the fighting, so I had a very low score for evidence. And then I sort of read more into it, and I got a lot of blogs about it. Okay, so...
Give it to me.
So, basically, it turns out Leyak is a stage in learning Indonesian mysticism.
Oh.
Okay, so as you're learning, a Leyak is sort of like midway through. So you're journeyman,
Right.
in Indonesian mysticism.
Page.
Yeah, a page. Like, and afterwards you become a squire, a knight, and stuff like that of Indonesian mysticism, and then like you evolve into like a guru on this ability, but it's a step on the travel towards enlightenment, basically. So
And
there's
is a Leyak, say, the dark side?
No, it's apparently the Leyak can be either or. It's like humans. If the I thought that was a bit weird. Like somebody goes around eating corpses, sucking blood out. But there's a blog of this person who claims to be like just after passing their Leyak exam, which I don't know what that is. Like, oh, how many babies did you kill today? Oh, 10. Brilliant, good. Here's a gold star. But yeah, so she claims that she'd passed it, and it started off with her just dabbling in mysticism, like trying to do a good luck spell here, and then after that's where I got the ritual to turn to a monkey.
Was this on her personal blog?
Yeah, I think it was on Tumblr, and so this is legit facts, lads.
With like some picture of Angel from Buffy on it, with some like papyrus font written on it.
Papyrus font, yeah, the same that like Avatar James Cameron loves for everything. Papyrus whatever. But yeah, so she had just come out of her Leyak phase. She said she didn't experience the headlessness that is described with it, but she thought that was a metaphor. But she was able to change her face.
Do it on YouTube then.
No, she said she wanted to remain anonymous. And I looked into it. I went into blogs. I went into like a bit about Indonesian mysticism, and there's a load of people who claim to be Leyak. So like, some of them are just like, obviously some mad hippies who took a load of LSD and just Yeah, it's like my head's flying over there. It's like, oh, no, you're in boots, man. Relax.
Well, the thing is, I mean, essentially, this is a witch.
Yeah.
If we did say, for example, witches, you know, and evidence would be 10. Because witches exist and Wiccans exist.
Yeah.
I follow a few Wiccans on Instagram, and someday I hope to get into tarot. I'd love to get into tarot reading.
Do you know, if anyone's in Dublin, you should go to there's a market in
George Street?
No, not George Street. It's Black Rock Market.
Oh yeah.
And there's a tarot reader there, and party's very good. Like getting a lot of good readings.
Getting good readings.
Getting good ratings.
Good ratings
Yeah, so check them out.
for their readings.
Yeah.
I might check it out. I'd love to just pull it out of my hoop though on my own. I've always wanted like skills like that, but I've never get magic sets, but I never want to read the instructions.
I have a couple of tarot tattoos and stuff.
Wait, what do they mean?
Well, the tower,
the burning tower.
the burning tower. That is an upheaval, sudden change.
Oh, very good.
Frog playing a banjo.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
The Loveland Frog.
That means true love is destined to find you.
Fuck off.
In the bayou. And then Barney from The Simpsons.
Of course, yeah.
The fifth arcana, Barney from The Simpsons.
The town jester.
Town jester, yeah, perfect. Oh, back to evidence here now.
Witches exist, so I imagine if you were an Indonesian witch, you would probably say, "Look, I'm a Leyak."
I'm a Leyak. Yeah, I've done these things. So you better back off. I'm a Leyak.
But I ain't giving you shit, hunty, unless you are fucking floating hell, okay?
So here's the thing as well. So apparently Leyaks have to make a deal with a lesser demon or like a bad guy to gain their power, their full fucking variety of powers or whatever. So if they die as a Leyak, they immediately combust and disappear.
Oh, what?
So there's no physical evidence can be left behind. As
That's
a Leyak.
bollocks. And that's once you reveal yourself.
Yeah, if you get killed as a Leyak, you
Killed
die.
as a Leyak.
So basically, what happened was some woman got uppity back in ancient Indonesia, got fucking beat the shit out of, set on fire, decapitated, and they were like, "Oh, she was a Leyak," and that sort of spread. I'd say.
Well, I looked up a bit about Rananga. You're one. Excuse me, I'm about to belch. Oh my god. That's exactly what I tried to avoid. So the character of Rananga has an origin in historical fact, now interwoven with fantastic myth. At the beginning of the 11th century, a Balinese prince became the king of Java. His mother was a Javanese princess who ruled Bali with her Balinese husband until the husband, suspecting her of practicing evil magic, exiled her to the forest. When his father died, leaving this chap, Yuan Rangda, a widow, she conspired to use her band of pupils trained in the black arts to destroy his kingdom. And apparently the grudge kind of stemmed from there, but it's based in some sort of fact that there was an 11th century witch with a cool load of Sith.
Yeah.
And the descendants of this are these, three famous Leyaks who float around with big fucking entrail heads.
And they have like apprentices apparently as well. So yeah, not a lot of evidence. Another person who's trying to justify the fact that we don't see them a lot anymore is that they're terrified of built-up areas.
Yeah, so this is what I read. We probably read the same thing because I read it on a few websites and I put it in bold. However, almost nostalgically, in most parts of Leyak sightings seem to be a thing of the past. This is attributed to modern times with all of its chaos. Seemingly these days, Leyaks are, somewhat ironically, afraid to show themselves.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Evidence 2. Fuck you.
Whoa, 2?
Yeah.
Oh man,
What did you give it?
I give it a 3. Like it's not that big a leap to be fair. I'm gonna have to defer to you.
I'll defer to you.
Yeah, we got my song.
I can't ever find it. Will you send it to me again? Anyway, here's mine.
You delete it after every episode.
I
know you
love
do.
your one.
I defer to you. You have made such a compelling argument.
Keep in mind, I'm deferring to you.
I defer to you. I'm so dumb, I can't even wipe my own ass. I defer to you. I tried to grab my phone, but I'm so dumb I ended up grabbing a cactus. I defer to you.
Oh, peaky.
Yeah, pretty peaky.
Peaky Blinders.
Okay, so this no evidence, barely any fucking evidence for this piece of shit. But is it cool?
So much. Piece of shit.
Cool, baby. Yeah, I don't mean to be in a bad mood.
You're not in a bad mood. You just had too many coffees.
I had too many.
Oh no, I've got a text off your wife. She divorced you. He's crying. He's bawling his eyes out. He's bally acting his eyes out.
Wait.
His eyes out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, I suppose.
Oh, fuck off. It's unreal. Like,
Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. I mean, as well. See, this is my mood showing. Maybe I've synced up with my wife, and I'm feeling a bit PMSy at the moment. No, she's not. She's not going through that at the moment, and I should know because I follow it or cycle on an app called Flow. So I know.
Tony, this is mad. This is madness.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and also it's very popular. I mean, everyone in Indonesia knows about it.
Yeah.
They hang them up, which I don't know why the fuck you would do that everywhere.
Yeah.
These big hanging heads with dangly entrails.
As I said, the leader of most rituals or like parades that go on in Bali are led by Rananga, like an effigy of Rananga. Yeah, they're super cool powers. I want to be a hot rod. I want to be a big tower of burning corpses. I want to be. I want to be adored.
What's that?
Adored. I want to be. I can't remember the name of the song. I don't even know if I'm singing it right.
That's not even a song.
I don't think it is.
I
wanna be your dog.
What is it? I want to be your dog.
I'm mixing loads of songs up.
Yeah. I don't even think I had that right. I don't have much even for cool. Well, I suppose what do we got here? We got a floating head with entrails. Okay, it's cool. It'll be a cool Hollywood Halloween decoration. It's got large fangs, large tongue. It's just like the fucking Mananganal.
It loses some points though because it eats corpses, and as we know, eating corpses is a bad thing. Tony,
it's a good thing. We should be eating our relatives. We should. If we should be storing the meat of our dead relatives and eating them over
we're
the
not
space.
storing the meat. We're burying it to go back into the ground.
We shouldn't. We should eat it.
But
we
it
should
goes
eat
off.
it.
You don't eat.
We should freeze the bodies when they die and eat them.
I don't want to eat your dead relatives.
I don't want to do it
So
either.
does the family eat their own family?
Or other people's family, whatever's
If,
going.
if anybody wants to donate their body for us to be eaten later on live air, send us a tenner.
I don't want to send us a tenner, and we'll do it. I don't want to do it. I just think people should consider it. I mean, all the fucking, cows and what they're doing for the environment and methane and all that and fucking global warming. Come on, eat your dead.
This year I've been trying to do meat-free Mondays.
How's that going?
Very good, actually. I've got mad into onion bhaji.
Oh.
Yeah, Tesco do this like meal deal, which is fucking cheap, and I'm probably fucking up the environment more with the packaging that I'm taking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the onion bhaji and like there's mad potato in it as well. Very good.
And would you eat meat every other day but Monday?
I'd say so, yeah.
What would you eat?
Like a salad but meat in it.
Yeah, what meat? Like,
Oh, like chicken, beef, prawn. Prawns are meat.
prawns out of meat.
Prawns not meat. Egg.
Egg's not on meat.
What's an egg then? Where does it fall into the category?
It's not meat.
Is it
but
dairy?
Yes.
Is egg a dairy?
We've had this conversation as well on the show.
Oh, shit, really?
Fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake.
Look, I don't. This clearly we're talking about is egg dairy because if this thing is so cool, why can't we talk more about it?
Oh, yeah, so we've gone off a tangent.
Why can't we talk more about it?
We could definitely can't.
I mean, I gave it. We definitely can't. No, we can't. I mean, whatever. I think we've. It's there. Okay, all right. This is what's cool about it. Okay, it's a floating body with a lot of entrails. That looks cool. Okay, it's sinister. It does fucked up shit. It eats babies. It's got cool, dark Slenderman vibes.
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting's cool.
Always cool.
Witches. That's cool. The fact that this can be seen pretty much in every Southeast Asian country.
Some variation
of this is cool. The fact that it's kind of, I don't wish it upon any woman, but the fact that it derives from the kind of scorned woman vengeance thing, that's cool. We do love our vengeance movies.
Yeah.
We do love our Korean vengeance trilogies. We love that kind of shit. So that's cool, right? What's uncool is actually, there's not much that's uncool about it.
What were you about to say there?
I don't know.
Sucking babies off.
Sucking babies out.
Out. Yeah, sucking babies out and then drinking their blood and stuff is pretty uncool.
That's not great. It's not a good look for someone. Like we like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Do you like Chris Pratt?
Well, yeah, he's been a bit questionable lately. I have to give him that.
Why? Because he's gaudy?
Yeah, the church he's specifically following has said that gay people are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris Evans.
I had a dream about Chris Evans last night.
Which one?
Not the fucking ginger lad.
Oh yeah.
And he was kind of scolding me. He was kind of saying you should need to be working harder. And it gave me a.
Oh, it came up the hole.
Is
that why you drank 4 coffees?
No, genuinely, I fucking had a bit of it. I was up early and not early. I don't have a real job, but I was up and out of the house early enough, and I wrote a few sketches and I did a few things, and I had that in the back of my head. I think my subconscious manifested itself as Chris Evans, and I tell you, and do you know what the weird thing is?
What was he wearing?
Do you know what the weird thing is? I was calling him Chris Pine, and he was answering to the name Chris Pine. So I think for my brain, so I actually think it's Chris Pine who I like.
But you couldn't.
Well, I couldn't remember what he looked like.
Yeah. What was he wearing? Captain America.
Okay, he was wearing the Captain America outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't have the beard, which is weird because I fancy him in the beard.
Yeah. He's a hot boy.
Anyway, I give the Leyak a cool of 5.
I'll give him a 5 too.
Okay, cool. We're making this up as we go along. And now because you know what, and this is because you're probably going to. Okay, basically, I have a jingle here for sex appeal. Okay, and I literally made it 5 seconds before I came in here. This is the placeholder And if you heard one last week, it's because we recorded this. We record these together, and we've replaced it and put it together. This isn't going to be forever because I'm not proud of this. But this is the jingle for our new sex appeal segment.
Doesn't even say sex appeal in it.
No, it doesn't. But it's a bunch of
Animals. And then a zipping. Really obnoxious zip coming on.
I wonder which animal was wearing the jeans as well.
Oh, if a dog wore jeans, which way would a dog wear jeans?
They'd wear 4 jeans.
No, they'd wear it in the middle of their torso. Fuck! I thought season 2 I'd have no H's. Anyway, how sexy do you think this is?
I mean, it's kind of sexy. I mean, okay, look, we all know the legend of the mermaid, and the whole idea is that the bottom half is a fish. And then they're like, oh, yeah, but would you ride an opposite mermaid where the bottom half was the legs and the head top was a fish? You know, no. So in this way, would I ride the top half of a woman with entrails hanging off the neck? I don't know where that analogy came from.
Okay, no, but think about this. You can have technically a threesome with the split body. So you can have sex with the woman or man.
Yeah.
And then you can get a little tickly bum bum action off the head.
Tickly bum bum, no. I don't think I want to have sex with this because it's not a very nice person. And it's sucking out babies.
So
Have you ever had sex with someone you didn't like?
Yeah, everyone has.
I have not.
Oh, don't, you can't say that just because you're married. Like,
I've never had. I've only had sex with my wife.
No, do not lie. You've had sex with someone where you turn around and you were like, or not midway through, but you're
turn around. so I'm getting pegged by this woman, and then I turn around and I said, "I don't like you. Stop fucking pegging me."
When you have sex with a person and you're just like, "Oh, I don't know why I did that."
No, I've never. Well,
you're a better man than me.
Well, I've been quite selective.
Just me.
Yeah,
and your wife.
Well, do you know what? Let's not jump to sex appeal yet. Now, this isn't exactly about the Leyak, but we have been sent in. Some Tony and Jago fan fiction.
What?
This is Bernard Grady in Portrane has sent in some fan fiction that I'm going to read out. For us now, and then that can maybe get us in the sexy mood to give this thing a final score. Okay, here we go. Tony was early at Sexy Beasts HQ as usual, waiting on good old punctual Mark Jago. He has that in quotation marks. "Paddy, what are we going to do with this chap?" said Tony. "I dunno, man. He's some wagon, he is," said Paddy. "Yeah, but he's my wagon," smiled Tony. "I'm here," shouted Jago as he kicked in the door with his big sprinter's legs. "Whoa, calm down, man. Save the energy for the pod. And you're late as usual," said Tony, light-heartedly scolding his sidekick and ward. "Sorry, Tones, but I think when I tell you why I was late, you'll actually be happy and not annoyed at all." "I'm all ears. Not literally, of course. That'd be horrible," chuckled Tony, a professional comedian. "I'm late today because I was baking you these," Jago said, whilst removing a gingham cloth revealing a plate of cookies shaped like bumblebees. "Oh, Jago, what's this?" "Look closer," replied Jago. "Read the inscriptions." "Hang on, let me put on my stronger glasses," said Tony. "Okay, let's see." As Tony leant in, the words became clear. B, spelled B-E-E, "my bumble buddy." "Ha ha ha, what's this mean?" asked Tony. As he looked up for his answer, he saw Jago's face had turned very sincere. "I mean it," said Jago. Their eyes locked, and Tony's stomach fluttered all the way up to his face. "Oh, Jago," he said. "And look, you've still got some flour on your cheeks. Let me get that for you." Just as Tony finished wiping his face, Jago grabbed his wrist and said without breaking eye contact, "Well, since you've defloured my cheeks, allow me to return the favour." To be continued. So thank you, Bernard, for sending that in.
Thanks, Bernard.
So I give.
I can't look at you.
So if you would like to finish the story, please send in all your fan fiction to sexybeastpod@gmail.com.
One constructive criticism
Of Bernard's.
of Bernard's.
Yeah.
I'm not his sidekick. I'm not his ward. I'm his equal.
I know, it's weird that he said that.
I'm his better.
I know, it's weird that he said that.
Did you actually just add that in? You fucking added it in, you little creep.
Jacob, I wrote the whole thing.
Oh.
Who would write that? Who would write that and send that in?
I don't know. Please, no, good though. Oh man, you got me. You punked me. Where's Ashton?
You've been punked by. You've been hit by. You've been sucked by. You've been done by. You've been hit by.
I've got a brand new on my nerves, sir. It's the life for me.
I gave it a sex appeal of 4.
I give it a sex appeal of 5.
Okay.
I'll
Come on.
defer to you.
Okay. And
Knocking these out.
I defer to you. Okay, so there we go. So right, that's a sex appeal of 4. Right. Wow. So what we got? Fighting 6, evidence 3, cool 5, sex appeal 4. Okay, hang on. Let me get the Premier Crypt up and running.
And running, keep running, keep running, keep running.
Where's the opening?
You fucking got me, man. You got me so bad.
Did you add that bit in?
Shut up. Don't
cut that out. Here's the scores. What were they again, Jacob?
6, 3, 5, 4.
That's a total of 18.
Not good.
Not good
Not
at
good.
all.
What numbers have put that?
Okay, shit. That puts it in fucking 32nd place.
Whoa, we actually have so many episodes.
I know, we've got loads out of, what are 44 cryptids?
Yeah.
Right, well, who's going to win this fucking ace in the hole?
Shit, I don't really want it. I think I want to lose.
Well, this is your chance, right? It's
I'm going to roll, though, to be totally fair.
How many of you? Well, you've won 3.
Yeah.
No, you've won 2 in a row.
I've won 2 in a row, yes.
You've won 2 in
third.
a row. Okay. Well, let's break out the motherfucking top trumps, motherfucker.
Fighting.
Okay, here we go. And yes, we do need a new theme song. In fact, if someone would like to send in a theme song, please do it.
Yeah.
sexybeastpod@gmail.com. If you want to send in any new jingles, we are, after all, Sexy Beasts 2.0.
Just send us a tenner and the jingle. And
send us down on a jingle, and we'll eat our dead relatives. And anyway, Jacob, what are you picking?
Well, for this week's cryptid, I have drawn the Dobbercoo.
What?
And I use evidence. Evidence of 8.
Evidence of 8. Okay. Well, you'll be glad to know that this week I have drawn the Tokolosh with an evidence of 3.5.
Yo! Fucking 3 weeks in a row, motherfucker. So, I've thought long and hard.
I can't remember these names if you keep changing them.
So, wait, do you want to stay? Plune is
No,
overrated.
change it again.
Okay. And I'm now Team Jago.
I know.
And you are now Team 5 gigabytes of cat porn.
What? I only have a few. I've only got a few megabytes max. Right.
Well, you have to say what your name is.
Team 5 gigabytes of cat porn.
Okay, grand. And now we have... Terrifying. And
Are you ever worried that when you open up your laptop in public, you're just going to hear, like, you know... from your cat porn that you've been watching.
So now we have Freak
Encounters
Part 2.
No matter what they do, Freak Encounters. Oh, brilliant. Okay, here we go. Storm Dawn has sent in the second half of her story. Storm had alluded to the fact that her man had been spooned by a bloody ghost. And here we have this scary story. And here we go. Thanks so much for sending it in. If you want to send it in, send it in at sexybeastpod@gmail.com. Okay, here we go. Just waiting for the old drop. Oh yeah. So when I was around 11 years old, we were living in the middle row house in Kimmage. We shared walls with two of our neighbours. Our elderly next-door neighbour, Mr. Harper, had passed away that year. We never saw much of him, but you'd spot him shuffling to and from the shops every now and again. You'd faintly hear classical music coming from the radio in his house, and occasionally you'd even hear him snoring through the wall. I don't remember the details of his death, but I assume it was old age related. We'd been given this house by the corpo after the previous elderly male tenant had passed away. I was told not in the house, but who knows. I was 8 when we moved in, and my mum probably didn't want to scare the shine out of me. At the time, my mum had the master bedroom at the front of the house. It shared a wall and a fireplace, 1940s houses, you know, and with the master bedroom of Mr. Harper's house. So one night my mum made her way to bed and fell asleep. My stepdad had band practice that night, so he was going to be home late. She was stirred from her sleep by the sensation of someone getting into bed behind her. When she came to, she could sense that it wasn't my stepdad, and she could feel a freezing cold presence and breathing on the back of her neck. She was essentially being spooned by an entity. She was frozen with fear, and eventually, and couldn't move. It eventually stopped, and she stayed awake until my stepdad came home. She was fucking freaked. She made us switch bedrooms because she refused to sleep there again. She wasn't worried about me. She had a history with spirits and felt she attracted them. My bed ended up positioned near where her queen bed had been, and while I never got spooned by anything, every night up until the new neighbours moved in a few months later, I would hear the sound of a man breathing in his sleep, faintly snoring through the fireplace in the bedroom where Mr. Harper used to sleep.
Yeah, that ended perfectly with the music as well.
That was perfect.
Yeah. Thank you, Storm.
Thank you, Storm. Storm Brooks, thanks very much for sending that in.
Yeah. So that was the Leyak.
That was the Leyak, and that was a spoony ghost.
I am Mark Jago from Team Jago.
And this is Tony from Team 5 Gigabytes of Cat Porn.
I do not have an Indian Asian saying.
Indian Asian?
Yeah.
Well, let's just end the show by saying... hang on. As they say in Indonesia and all around the world...
Oh, you got that sexy beast. You're just so sexy. Are you a Loch Ness monster? Or are you Bigfoot, cryptid, supernatural vampires, banshees, Tony and Jago? Oops, there's a Wendigo. Hey, coming after me. Who the fuck said you could laugh at me, smack with me? With a Bigfoot dick you could slap with me? Blasphemy. You could dare come at me with a Bigfoot dick with a Loch Ness monster pussy? Baby, sexy beast.
This has been a Head Stuff Podcast Network. I'm Alan Bennett.
We say it wrong all the time.
I'm Alan Bennett.
Bennett, do you hear me, son?
Don't you know who I am? I'll make you my daddy.
This has been a production of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.